welcome back everybody to the opening of Outwood Academy Bydales. We've just got a series of small videos just to let everybody have a look at the sort of safety measures we're putting in place to make sure that we're reducing any transmission rates. Safety is always going to be our top priority. So we've got some videos where the senior team are just showing you around the building and the measures that will be in place to keep everybody safe when we reopen.
Modelled here by members of the leadership team, you can see that it is really important, even when you are travelling to school, that you are maintaining social distancing. As students come into school, you will walk through the main gate as normal. Once you're through the main gate, you will then go over the zebra crossing. As you can see, you will also receive support as normal from a member of duty staff. You will then make your way down towards the sports hall. Any students accessing the site on a bike, you will dismount at the main gate and you will walk your bike along with the pedestrians and through the side entrance towards the bike sheds. Any students getting dropped off by cars, you need to make sure you keep going straight on, make sure you don't turn right where the orange cones are, go right to the far end, up to the turning circle and then back again. There will be clear signage in the sports hall for student groups. On the chairs there will be clear labelling of each of the bubbles. Students must follow the arrows and walk to the far end of the sports hall onto the next yellow cross for their bubble. Once registered, students will enter the sports hall and they will use the hand sanitizer on the side of the sports hall wall. As students enter, they need to make sure that they follow the lines according to their bubble. Once they reach the end of their lines, they must stand on the next available yellow cross. Once staff have reached the end of the line, they must track towards the projector screen, which will be displaying key messages to ensure appropriate social distancing across the academy. Once students are all in their bubble lines, one bubble at a time will be dismissed from the sports hall and will make their way to the classroom. These bubble lines are in classrooms located on the ground floor, and they will be led by a member of staff all the way to their classroom. Students must maintain social distancing using the yellow tape on the floor as markings as a guide. Students should not have anything in their hands at this stage, and they must use the sanitizer at the start of the maths corridor for students on the ground floor classrooms. As students reach the classroom, they will line up, keeping at least 2 metres apart. They will then be met by their teacher and they will be allocated a seat in the classroom. Each classroom is set up with desks at an appropriate distance apart. On every table there will be a folder and a yellow cross. Students must sit where there is a red folder and place their name on the front of the file. As students reach the classroom, they will be met by their teacher. On the very first session, students will be allocated their seat. This will be their permanent seat for all sessions. There will be no other bubble that will use this classroom. If students do need the toilet, they will ask permission and follow the lines on the floor to ensure social distancing. Doors will remain open to avoid further contamination. At the end of the session, students will be dismissed by a member of the leadership team. They will be asked to stand behind their chairs. They will turn left and walk along the corridor. Exit will be via the fire doors at the end of the corridor. Students must use the hand sanitizer before leaving. The next video shows a bubble line making their way through the sports hall and towards an upstairs classroom. Just like the first clip, a bubble line will be dismissed one at a time and will be led to the classroom by a member of staff. Any students that are in classrooms upstairs, they will turn right and make their way up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, students must use the hand sanitizer on the left-hand side. As students make their way to the classroom, they must ensure that they are keeping at least 2 meters apart using the yellow tape as a guide. As students make their way to the classroom, they will line up, ensuring they are at least 2 meters apart. As with students entering classrooms on the ground floor, students on the first floor will also be allocated a seat on their very first session by the teacher. They will make their way into the classroom and sit on their allocated seat, making sure they are not sat where the yellow cross is. At the end of the session, students will be dismissed by a member of the leadership team. They will be asked to stand behind their chairs and wait to be dismissed. As students leave, they will turn left and they will make their way along the corridor. When walking along the corridor, they will ensure that when leaving site, they are still keeping at least 2 meters apart to follow social distancing guidelines. Students will then turn left and make their way safely down the stairs. Once students have made their way down the stairs, they will turn left and exit the building through the fire doors. Students will then exit the site by turning left, going past the tennis courts on the right hand side. Any students who have travelled to school on their bike at this stage will collect their bike and walk their bike until they reach the main gate. Any students that are being collected by car, they will follow the same route and get into their car that will be parked on the right hand side. For any student that arrives late to their session, they must report to reception. Students will wait at the reception doors to ensure that there is only one student in reception at any one time. As students come into the building, they will use the hand sanitizer provided. They will report to reception and the reason as to why they are late, and they will then make their way into the building and be escorted by a member of staff to their bubble.